All right, I just made it to Keels and Wheels, and they're still in setup mode, but man, you got to look at some of these cars that are coming out here tonight. This is kind of where they're setting up the supercars. So, you know, we have a Rimac here, and this thing takes like 30 minutes to cool down apparently. So it sounds like it's still on, which it is, but it takes a little while. Every time you walk closer back to it, it turns itself back on if you got the key fob in your pocket, which is pretty funny. Really nice F40. This is the one that was gifted to Mansell back in the day by Ferrari. Super special car right there. This is a prototype 288 GTO, the prototype 288 GTO. Obviously an incredible SVJ here. Here's one of 110 special Aston Martins, and I've been told that this one has $1 million in options on it. If you can't see it, it is a dark blue carbon fiber weave there, which is truly spectacular, and then an incredible Mura that just showed up. Now this one also has some provenance, but I'm not going into it today. I will cover this on the show field. Tonight is a party, so this is Keels and Wheels. Be sure to check it out. Stay tuned for this video because I get a suspicion just based on the cars I just stumbled across right now that this is going to be a wonderful show. RM Sotheby's is the world's largest collector car auction house by total sales. They are the preeminent market maker of high-quality collector cars and collections, regardless of size or complexity. By working in partnership with the Sotheby's team and its network of 80 offices in 40 countries, RM Sotheby's has established the largest client network of any collector car auction house in the world. Join the RM Sotheby's family by connecting with one of their car specialists at rmsotheby's.com or contact me directly at gstanley@rmsotheby's.com. All right, it's Friday night, and they have their little Concours event going on right now. I'll go over there in a second, but I just wanted to give you a sneak peek as far as how special some of these cars are. So we got a lot of cars covered here, but look what's uncovered. Pagani Huayra, we got another Pagani here, we got a Bugatti, and then we've got 918, F40 that we saw earlier. Some really crazy stuff, but then we got a really special car here that's covered up. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we will see it tomorrow when it is unveiled. All right, so it's a great setup here. They got all the cars lined up Friday night, ready to go. And here's the Club Concours. So I'm going to go over here, have a couple appetizers, a couple drinks, and I'll see y'all in the morning. All right, Sandy, I'm in love with your car, and I know it has a very special story, so could you share that with us?
Surely, it does have a very special car, and I'm in love with it too because my father made it.
Your father made it?
My father made it. He's Jack Griffith. He had a Ford dealership in Hicksville on Long Island, and that's my daddy right here. Yep. And at the time, with the Ford dealership, he was also selling Cobras. Okay. And he was a friend of Carol Shelby's. And Carol came to my dad and said, I want you to campaign this for us. This was before Ken Miles and all of that. And so we did, and we won everything, okay? And then my dad said to Carol, okay, if you could make a Cobra, I think I can make a car that is lighter and faster and cheaper. There we go. So he took the engine out of our Cobra, and he had a friend who had the TVR dealership, and he put the Cobra engine into the TVR and said, okay, now I've created this car. And so then he went to TVR and ended up buying some of the chassis and so forth, and then put a 289 Ford engine in it and so forth. I only made 192 of these. Okay. And then the 200 they made about 60, and then a 400 they made about 5. And in less than 2 years he was out of business because in New York the dock strike, he couldn't get chassis.
Oh wow, okay.
So they're very rare.
So as a little girl, what are your memories of this car? Did you care?
Yes, I did. Okay, so do you see the plaid car here? Okay,
yeah,
I was in high school, okay? And so my dad was really a marketer. He was not a car person.
Right.
So he paid $350 to have that car painted, plaid.
Wow.
And it was at the New York Auto Show, right next to what Jaguar, Dave?
I think Jaguar was across the aisle.
Across the aisle, and they had just introduced one of their big, cars. And at the end of the show, he paid somebody to stand and say, which car did you like better? And they said, we like the plaid car. And then he took the plaid car to Boston and to Chicago, and then they needed inventory, so he painted it back to a green and sold it.
Do we know where that car is today?
No.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
How old were you?
I was in high school.
I was in high school. So did you drive these when they were new?
No. Are you kidding? No. But I met my husband. Okay, because we were in high school together. He was last name is Stites. I was a Griffith, but there was no more room in the S homeroom, so they stuck him in the G's. And he's sitting behind me, and after a while, he goes, "Excuse me, is your father Jack Griffith?" And I said, "Yes, he is." And so, hence, we started dating, and we've been married 55 years.
That's amazing. So you met in high school?
We met in high school.
So did he drive it in high school?
No, he didn't either. We never drove one until about probably 10 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
All right. Well, tell us about the one behind you. How long have you owned it?
We've owned it now 5 years. We bought it during COVID. It was a COVID purchase, okay? And we were looking, we called our friend in Maryland who had 7 that he had restored. And we said, okay, we're ready to buy one. And he said, I think I've got one that you should go see. And they were going to go to Long Island to see it. And then COVID, they couldn't go. So we pretty much bought it sight unseen with pictures. And, we've done some work to it. But we wanted a driver. We did not want one that you couldn't drive, okay? So is it perfect? No, but it's a fun little car.
So since you've driven this is such a short wheelbase car. You got the 289 engine in it.
Actually, this engine is what, Dave?
302.
It's a 302.
Okay. How difficult or scary is this car to drive? Like, have you?
Well, I don't drive it because it's such a tight, hard clutch. Okay, it's a 5-speed.
Okay.
He drives it. I passenger. Okay.
Okay.
But it goes like a bat out of hell. Okay.
I can imagine so.
And when you get going too fast, the rear end kind of wobbles.
Well, have you ever spun it out?
No, I have not.
That's impressive.
I hope I never do.
That's very impressive. Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, thanks for sharing your dad's story.
Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking.
Story.
And my marriage story. Yeah.
How many years? 55?
55.
All right. You gotta say hi. Wave. There we go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My daddy would be thrilled.
All right, Roman. Honestly, I was going this way to go get a drink, and then I saw your incredible car. What the heck is it?
So what I've got here is a base 1967 Oldsmobile Tornado that was commissioned by Imperial Oil to get George Barris, who built the Batmobile, to build 4 of these for Canada's Centennial.
For Canada's
Centennial back in 1967. So at that time, Canada was celebrating their 100 years of existence.
Okay. And you're telling me that 4 of these exist?
That is correct. Yeah, they originally built 4 of these. Throughout that year, they gave them all away. Imperial Oil, Esso, Exxon's division up in Canada at the time, they had this big promotion going on for road cruisers, everything like that, and that's where the concept came for this vehicle, was to be able to have family trips, that type of stuff. So it's got a wraparound seat.
This is the coolest interior I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's got a lot of little neat amenities to it. Like I said, the wraparound seat, there's an ice chest underneath that console in the center. It's got the card table, and then it's also got a radio, 8-track with headsets at the time, so they're able to listen to everything in private.
So how many people have you had in this car at one time?
About 2 years ago, there was about 9 Girl Scouts. They were at one of the other car shows in League City.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, look, you got the flush door handles here. You got just crazy styling. Now, what percent of this car is fiberglass?
So basically what Barris did is that he elongated, extended the vehicle. So this center window here is 15-inch extension, so they made the wheelbase longer.
Okay.
They removed the entire roof and all this paneling as well as the entire front area of the vehicle, and that's all new fiberglass from molds that they built.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this rear end, the Tornado would have stopped about here?
Well, basically the Tornado frame is still underneath and everything, but all this rear clip, these guys here, on those little caps, those are all custom that they built at the time. It's got sequential tail lights, which is not indicative of Oldsmobile, but they were able to convert them.
Tail lights. So did they take that from the 67 Shelby, which, well, actually they took it from the Cougar, so.
Right. So yeah, basically the pattern here for those tail lights as well as the front grille, it came from either Tornado or Riviera at the time, so they just basically doubled them up and made them that much larger to be able to cover the custom formed tail lights.
Wow, this is really cool. So do the other three exist?
One of them I'd actually just seen for the first time 4 months ago. It's out of Western Canada, but they had it down in Palm Springs. There's another one that's known to be in Eastern Canada, but it's not been seen for numerous decades. And then the last one is believed to have been destroyed in a fire years ago.
What color are the other ones that you know?
Two of them were gold, as this one here. One was burgundy, and then another one was an olive green avocado color.
I tell you what, gold's the color. Gold is the color.
Makes it pop. All the chrome and everything that they put onto it is a good compliment.
Well, thanks so much for bringing the car out. This is amazing.
Thank you.
All right, here's some cool boats we have here for Keels and Wheels, wooden boats, but I'm in love with this one right here. It's Chris Craft. Look at that little fin. Look at the engine underneath here. I believe there's 36 boats along here. So very unique for a Concours to have a boat show as well. Oh, look at this one. You even have the model to go with it.
Single kid show up for an award.
Very cool.
All right,
I'm with Richard here, and this is Keels and Wheels. I've shown you a bunch of wheels. I have yet to show you any keels. So Richard, first off, what's a keel?
Keel is just the part of a boat that makes it stable when it's in the water.
Thank you.
Sailboat has a long keel for sailing, and it's the keel that gives you the pointing ability into the wind. But a power boat like this has a planing hull, and the keel just keeps it stable until it's up on a plane.
I knew I asked the right person. So that's awesome. So yeah, so at Keels and Wheels we have quite a few boats here, which is a big part of it. Some very gorgeous, beautiful boats. So I didn't want to do a video without talking about at least one boat. So tell us about your incredible boat that's behind you here.
This boat, I bought it from the grandson of the original owner who bought it new from Chris Craft and had it built in 1949.
Wow.
I've had it for 4 years. My wife Robin died 4 years ago, and of course the boat's named after her.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it is an amazing boat. The Butch, the guy that is down this year, he comes down every year. He has taken care of this boat for the original owner for 30 years, 25 or 30 years. And Greg, the other friend that's here, built the model boat that you're going to talk to Greg about. The model that he took him a year to build. It is identical to the real boat, and we just ran it in the water for probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I do want to talk about that in a minute. So yeah, so what powers your boat?
Well, it's 100 and I want to say 67 or 68 horsepower. It does about 55 knots on a plane in smooth water. It has the original engine, the original Chris Craft engine in it. When I bought it, we redid it. All of the seat cushions, all of that is original Tomex, which was what this boat is identical to the way it was when it was brand new. That was the whole idea. Last year it won Best of Show and Best of Class at Keels and Wheels for the boats, and I didn't enter it this year, but I think we may enter it again next year.
Nice. Yeah, and there's the model we'll talk about here in a second. An exact model of your boat named after your wife, Robin. What a great way to honor her.
Yeah. So it's
so you made this incredible reproduction of Richard's boat named after his wife, Robin. And you were I just caught eye of it spinning around here in the little bay. So tell us about it. This is quite a piece of workmanship.
So I fly the giant scale RC airplanes, and he came to me the first year I met him, wanted me to build a scale model of his boat. I said, no, I just really don't do it anymore. He told me about his wife who had passed away, and we became friends. And when I walked away, my wife said, "You're going to build a boat." And I said, "Yep." And it took me probably about 220 hours, about a year of working on it. And just a lot of love went into it. I even have the keychain.
Oh, you sure do, don't you?
So I mean, I did stuff like, if you can see, the inside of his boat has 5 panels. So the inside of his model has 5 panels.
Oh yeah.
The seam splits on his rub rail on the front, so I made sure the seam split on the rub rail on the model. No, I did.
Oh yeah.
Dash, the 88
Yep.
with the infinity side.
Yep. And I see you've got Robin on the back here.
Yep.
So just you've got the Robin 88 back there.
I was a ham radio operator, and I got my license the last week of Morse code. So if I sent you a message in Morse code, I would sign it 73, like sincerely.
Yep.
But if I sent Robin a message, I signed it 88, which means I love you.
Oh, nice.
So the 88 and the infinity sign is I love you forever.
Oh,
and
that's
then
awesome.
On RC boats, you suck water in from the bottom. It goes around the motor, which is under here, and then it had to come out somewhere. And I couldn't figure out where to bring it out. Do I bring it out the brass fitting or whatever? So I was like, well, that's stupid. I'll send it out of here. So the water comes out of the exhaust just like the real boat.
Just like the real thing. Amazing piece of work.
Thank you.
All right, Grady, you're a Ferrari guy, and you're standing in front of a significant F40. So tell us a little bit about this particular car.
This is a 1989 model Ferrari F40, and it has a distinction of having been a gift from Enzo Ferrari to Nigel Mansell in 1989 when he was driving for his Formula One team. And Mr. Mansell, this car actually lived at Ferrari of London for a number of years while he owned the car. It's been sold a few times, and now we have the luxury of having it here in Houston with a great car collector.
Now, this probably was driven pretty hard in period, right?
Well, I cannot comment on that, but you have to assume, yes.
Now, my understanding is you're a Ferrari judge. I'm a Ferrari judge. That's how we initially met. But that you've owned one of these F40s for numerous years and put many miles on it. Is that right?
I did. I owned one for about 5 years and put about 5,000 miles on the car. No, so, excuse me, about 8,000 miles on the car.
So tell me, what's the pros and cons? You know, I mean, you're almost daily driving this thing. What's the pros and cons to it?
Not many cons, actually. The car is actually a very easy car to drive. It's not like everybody thinks it is with respect to turbo lag and all that. That's all nonsense. It's a big, docile go-kart. It's a blast to drive. I'd say the only thing that's a pain in the butt with it is getting in and out of the car is a bit difficult. I'm 6'2", and it's a little difficult to get in and out of, but outside of that, it's a dream to own. The only other bad thing is the cost of parts and parts availability is very, very difficult on the car.
All right, so this is a Euro spec car, and it's got the sliding windows. What else makes it a Euro?
Well, the sliding glass windows were only on the first 50 or 51 cars.
Okay.
The rest of the cars from '89 all the way to the end of production in the Euro spec cars did not have those windows on it. This shows that it's just a very early car. The car actually debuted in 1988. Euro cars are different with respect to bumpers, obviously.
Yep.
Some of the frame components are different. The engine ECUs are different. This car has got Euro seats in it, so it doesn't have the mouse seat belts. It's got some different engine issues.
What about the F40 on the other side? Is that
only on one side on all F40s? Another thing is the front splitter on a U.S. car is more apparent. Car has smaller bumpers. This car has no bumpers, has fog lights, and little other things like a third brake light that's usually here. And that's pretty much it on that.
a pretty historic car we're looking at right now?
Very, very much so. They built about, there's a different number, 1311, 1315, 1321. There's different numbers. We don't know if that includes the cars that they built for the race variants or not. But it's for as far as production or as far as numbers of a non-production exotic car, that's kind of a high production car when you consider a 288 with 272 cars, F50 with 349 cars, and so on. So it's kind of a high production number for a supercar.
Well, thanks, Grady. Appreciate
Okay, man.
it, man.
No problem.
Okay, I'm with Evelyn and her 1929 Auburn Cabriolet. Now, how long have you been part of this Keels and Wheels program here?
My husband and I came to their third one. That was 27 years ago, and then the next year he became a board member and we were regular.
Now, did you just retire recently from volunteering?
The board,
Okay.
but I'm still on honorary whatever.
Okay. Well, you got this really cool car, and not only this, you got 2 other cool cars here. So tell us just a little bit about it.
Well, my husband first bought a 31 Auburn 7-passenger in 1996 in Auburn at the auction, and he liked it so much it didn't have a whole lot of work for him to do on it, so he did all the stuff he wanted to. It came from a senator in Auburn who thought he should have one for his constituents, and when he bought another one, his wife said one has got to go. So that particular car had been in the Auburn Museum for a number of years, and he sold it and we got it. And the next year Tom thought he would go back and get me one, and it was this 29, which I really think he wanted because it was a disaster basket case. And he had a ball putting it together because he dismembered the whole thing. No 2 parts were connected.
Wow.
Spent a long time taking pictures so he could put it back, but the camera had no film, so we spent the next 6 months trying to find another one so he could put it back together. Wow. And it came out okay. Jay Leno's person, Randy Ema, helped us pick the color chips. He had that for us to find, and so that helped. But it's been a really good car. We've taken it on a lot of tours, and we use our car, so it might see some dings or whatever in it, but we enjoyed it.
Now you've been joking with people as they walk by, do you like my airplane engine? Why are you saying that?
Well, because I don't know a lot about motors, but everyone's always impressed and they think that we put an airplane engine in it, but it comes with a Lycoming engine.
Okay, yep.
And even the 31 he had, it was a smaller engine than this one. People prefer this one. So people always are amazed.
Now, have you ever ridden in the rumble seat?
No.
Has anyone?
Yes. We didn't let his mother in, even though he called it a mother-in-law seat. But
How did she like that? Was she offended?
Well, no, but look how high it is. She was 95. But we bought a 1911 car, and she liked that one okay. That's her birth year. But it's comfortable is what they say. But
you're going to take their word for it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what are the other 2 cars you brought here?
The one right behind you is a 1928 Graham Page. The Graham brothers and the Page Company at some point in time, and I forgot who was the most financially needy, but they joined forces. And then ultimately, I forgot the next Kaiser, somebody else bought them out, and then with all the war needs going on, it just kind of was trouble for them to find what they needed, and it disappeared. But it comes from the White Truck Company, and if you ever drove it or rode in it, you would know that you're partially driving a truck. It's very solid, and you're not going to get hurt if you have a wreck in it.
Yeah, and it has a great interior. Very beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
That dark green.
And my friend, we had a dead battery, and then the people with the trailer could not take the height on it. So yesterday he just got in it, grabbed his wallet, and drove it down here to the meet, to the concourse. And it's under 20 miles, but he said he loved it, and he's going to take it back Sunday for me.
Wow. Yeah, and what's the 3rd car? One of my favorites.
The 3rd car is down the road a bit, and it's a 1911 Regal underslung. And I don't know the exact details, and I'm probably saying it incorrectly, but a lot of people, car people included, don't know what the underslung portion is. There's American underslung, and that's an expensive one, and this is a Regal, and it's where the chassis is flipped to give it a lower center of gravity for faster racing, and it's racing green. And I know it would have been my husband's favorite car, but it's there and everybody wants it. It's a race car.
Yeah, it's very cool. Well, thank you so much, Evelyn. Very cool. This is the supercar, exotic car section here now. As you know, some of these cars were covered up last night. I'm going to end on the car that was covered up, I said was really special. So obviously a great Bugatti here. They have a little bit of everything, a couple Paganis. This is an interesting car here. If you haven't seen one of these yet, the Nebura, I think that's how you say it correctly. The Rimac, pretty cool car. Now this one's very cool. So this is the modern interpretation of the Countach. And honestly, I did not like this car when it first came out. It debuted at the Quail, but it's really grown on me since then. It's just not wild enough to be a Countach. Here's the 918. We did see a little bit last night. There's the F40. It's a little crowded here, as you can imagine. Here's the Huayra all opened up. Get all the carbon fiber. Here's the beautiful Miura. The first, people call this the first supercar ever. I would argue that the Mercedes SL Gullwing was, because that was actually built, purpose built as well. SF90. We got the anniversary Countach, which I prefer the non-anniversary models, but this is gorgeous. Got the McLaren Elva back there. Crazy car, no windscreen. Apparently this one was giving them a little bit of headaches and setup, so I'm glad that they got it here. This is a rare one of 110 Aston Martin. It's got a very cool kind of ducktail. Now if you can't tell, that's actually carbon fiber, and it's not painted. It's actually carbon fiber with clear. Reportedly $1 million in options on this car. We did see this car uncovered last night, SVJ. We got a Carrera GT. .288 GTO. Now this is the prototype car, so there's a couple things that are slightly different on this car. I think one of them was the latches back here. Then you've got your nice McLarens. This is a very cool Enzo, rare color. I forgot the name of it, but it's kind of a darker silver. And actually, you know what? This isn't the car I'm thinking of, but yeah, this is like one of three. It's got a nice dark tan interior. Another McLaren and the LaFerrari. Now let's go see the car that was covered up. Now it's the first time I've ever seen one in person. It's not this Pagani here, although this is one of my favorite specs. Look at this. If I won the lottery, this is the Pagani I would probably buy. Again, carbon fiber blue. But next to it is the car that I've never seen before, the Aston Martin Valkyrie. So barely street legal. This is the first one I've ever seen. One of the first ones that's legal. Look at the big windshield wiper right down the center. Yeah.
It is real wild. Two of them. I don't see which one can make it in the streets. No, it's just a wind.
Oh yeah, that was.
I was like, okay, wow, that's got a quality.
Look at the air dams on this.
How that's legal in the States. I just came back from
Crazy cool. All right, let's see what else is on here. We got Eric here with this really nice 65 Jaguar XK. So Eric, before you tell us about the car, tell us a little bit about what you do with Keels and Wheels.
Well, thanks
Can you put that in words?
Thanks for asking. Well, I'm on the board of directors of Keels and Wheels, and my role is mostly what I would call club outreach and sort of community liaison. So I'm probably the biggest car show participant of any member of the board. I'm also the largest collector of any member of the board. So I sort of do things that help us communicate with the car-centric hobby.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Now, we talked last night and you have an affinity for red cars.
I do.
So tell us about this beautiful red car.
So this is a 1965 XKE convertible
that it was a one-owner car when I acquired it.
Okay.
The car was owned by a U.S. serviceman who bought the car new in Frankfurt, Germany. He bought it from a dealership called the Lindner dealership, Peter Lindner, and if you follow Jag history, you'll realize he was the Le Mans driver for Jaguar and balled up the lightweight E-Type at Le Mans.
Yep.
So this car is one of the last cars Lindner sold, and in fact, in the ignition is a super cool artifact of its sale, because it was a one-owner car, and it's this Lindner key fob. So that was
that is cool.
So that's what came with the car from its birth. And then if you look under the hood, most XKEs, they have the standard data plate. This car, Lindner would put his own data plate in the car when they sold to the dealership. So if you look at the right side of this car, or left side of this car, it's this side.
Left side.
Yep, that's its Lindner data plate.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they would produce that when they sold these cars, stick it on, and we had to restore that plate when we restored the car.
Now, you're very particular about your cars, and I can tell just by looking at an engine bay, this is a Concours level restoration, right?
Yes, sir. So this car, when I bought it, you could literally stand next to it and see the ground. It had the usual XKE floors and rocker board failures, and I looked at it and I said, maybe I'll do it myself, but when I decided it was beyond the skill level where I could get it to this level. So I had this done by Classic Showcase in Southern California, and really great experience,
Now tell our listeners, this is a great example. This is a Series 1.
Yes, this is a Series 1, relatively early 65 car. So Series 1 made a transition in 65. It's a 4.2 liter engine instead of a 3.8. The first gear got synchronization for shifting into first, and then most importantly for us overweight Americans, the seats got a little bigger. They got
Is it still a flat floor?
It is not. The flat floor only lasted to about early 62. That went away.
Now, does this one have, what is it, the outside hood?
Does not. That's
Okay.
61 only. So
61, okay.
you would see an outside bonnet latch on the very early, maybe first 500 cars produced. And then also you would see on the really early Jaguars, these louvers that are stamped into the bonnet.
Welded, right?
They're exactly. So if you want to have the rarest of the rare in XKE land, you want an outside bonnet latch welded louver 3.8 liter Series 1.
So my last question is, I have two questions actually. How do you keep the wheels so clean, and then what's in your drink?
So this is a rum runner, and the wheels are kept clean through patience and time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I literally, there's ways to keep yourself sane. Psychologists, psychiatrists, that can do it. Medication can do it, or just spend an evening cleaning the spokes on your Jaguar, and that's what I choose to do.
Well, thanks for being such a big supporter of the show.
Well, thank you for coming out.
All right, so I have Byron Kirkpatrick with his 57 AC Bristol. Is that correct?
It's my dad's.
It's your
Jesse,
dad's?
Yes.
So how long has it been in the family?
Since probably 61, 62,
Oh my God.
right
really?
after Carla.
So tell us a little bit about it while I try to get some up close shots here. Tell us.
My dad had a 56 Corvette, and he got flooded in Carla, and he traded it in on this.
A 56 Corvette, he traded in on this in like 60, 61?
Yeah, 61, 62, I think.
Okay.
And then he drove it as an everyday car for quite a while. I think he dated my mom when he had the car. And then basically in 66, 67, he got drafted. And
He got drafted, okay.
And his brother was driving it, and it got rear-ended.
Okay.
and it sat from 67 until probably 15, 17 years ago.
Okay.
And a friend of ours restored the bodywork on it. And then a bunch of different friends helped restore the engine and the interior. And it was probably about a 10-year restoration, just doing it slowly.
Now, is this back to the original colors?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
When my dad got it, it was actually green with the red interior in it.
Okay, so as far as you know, it's always had the red interior.
Well, actually, we have a book and it tells you it was actually built in '57 and it arrived at the Port of Houston in January of '58.
Now, I know if you look at early AC Cobras, they still had the suspension set up like you see on this car.
Yeah, the transverse leaf is actually the upper control arm on both front and rear of the car.
Okay.
And if you look at a 289 Cobra, even a Daytona Coupe, it's very similar. The only differences that I can see is they have disc brakes instead of drum, and they have a rack and pinion instead of this butcher suspension.
So how is this thing to drive?
It's a lot of fun. It handles very well. Still sorting the suspension out a little bit.
Okay.
On shock adjustment, but it's a fun little car.
Well, and you're holding the hood because that's an all-aluminum hood and it's a little windy out, right?
That's right. I didn't want the prop rod to go slamming onto it or something.
Well, thanks so much for bringing this incredible car.
Oh, you're welcome. It's good meeting you.
All right, so we have Jacob Fuller with the Gilmore Car Museum with what an incredible ride. What can you tell me about this Duesenberg?
So this is our 1935 Duesenberg SJ Torpedo Phaeton. This was one of only 5 torpedo Phaetons built. Of the 5, they were all born naturally aspirated. The original owner of this car was unhappy with its performance and had it sent back to Duesenberg where the supercharger was installed by the factory. It's an absolutely stunning car. If you think of all the amazing qualities Duesenberg is known for, this car kind of has everything that they were known for in one package. Long wheelbase, supercharged, dual cockpit, all the glamour that they were known for, disappearing top, truly just a spectacle and marvel of engineering and luxury.
Now, it's my understanding all Duesenbergs were built in 29?
That's correct.
The year was based on when they were actually sold, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, all chassis and engines for the most part were built in 28, 29. This is chassis number J582, sold in 1935.
So this was a hard sell back in the day. Probably, obviously, the Great Depression and the price of this, just a bare chassis, was like 13 grand or something. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, and that was just for the chassis and engine. A proper body, once it was finished, could cost just as much. So they were for the ultra wealthy. Obviously, less than 500 Duesenbergs were built of the J model between 29 and 37. So a very exclusive car.
Now tell us a little bit about the Gilmore Car Museum, because I've been up there many times, and it's actually just a stunning museum. Not only the museum, but your cruisins are amazing, and the buildings you built are just unbelievable.
Yeah, so for the longest time, we were kind of the best kept secret as far as car museums go. We're trying to get the secret side out of it. We want people to know what we're about. But we're on a 90-acre campus. We have 27 different buildings, many independent car museums. You can come to our museum at any day and see about 450 to 500 cars, everything from Duesenbergs, brass era, modern day concept cars, foreign and domestic. There's something for everybody there. The cruisins are huge on any Wednesday night from 5 to 8 during the summer. You can expect to see well over 1,000 cars. People show up, it's free, it's a wonderful event. We have rotating exhibits every 6 months. There's something new for everybody to see and enjoy.
Yeah, and your buildings, like the Cadillacs are shown in a recreation of the Cadillac dealership, right?
Yeah, so our campus, not only do we have diverse cars, we have very diverse structures and buildings. So there's a lot of beautiful historic barns, replica dealerships. The Cadillac LaSalle dealership is a great example. A replica 30s gas station, a legitimate original 40s diner that's operating and functional. It's an amazing campus, something for everybody.
Well, thank you so much, Jake.
Hey, thank you.
All right, Lee, I was walking around and I think this is my favorite car of the show so far. So tell me, what are we looking at here?
This is a 1910 Bianke Limousine, which was made in Milan, Italy. Originally sold to a guy who lived in Lugano, Switzerland, which is fortunately how it survived all these years, because Switzerland was neutral for 2 world wars.
Right.
And so it was never taken for scrap metal for the war drives.
And now this is all unrestored?
Mostly. There's a few things that got so bad we had to fix, like the seat cushions and so on, and the top on the convertible. But basically, yes, it's as it was when it came out of the factory, plus 115 years.
Yeah, so it's just kind of nuts. I mean, you see these brass air cars, and I'm just looking at the engine now. That's
a cast iron block with aluminum crankcase.
Aluminum crankcase, cast iron block.
Yeah, now the interesting thing is you can check your rod clearances.
Oh my gosh.
And the way you check how much oil is, put your finger in there, and if it goes above your fingernail, it's too much.
Now I love the your oil, what do we call that?
What, this thing?
Yeah.
Well, that's gasoline.
Oh, that's gasoline. Okay.
Yeah, that's...
So that's to prime the pump, prime the carburetor?
Yeah, you put them in here. It's part of the starting procedure.
And then what is this? Is that...
1910 was prior to antifreeze.
Okay.
So that's a block heater.
A block heater?
Yeah.
So you actually put
kerosene in it.
You put kerosene
and you
in
light
that.
it, and it heats the engine compartment to keep it from freezing on cold days.
Okay.
And if it gets real cold, then you open that valve down there and drain all the water out. Just let it go.
Okay, down here, let it go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the next morning you bring a bucket of hot water and fill it back up.
Well, and I love the little cherub you have up here for the hood ornament.
Well, this is XX Cupid.
Cupid, okay.
And so he has his arms tied behind his back and his arrows in his quiver. So Cupid in that configuration, you see he's not real happy. He does not make new romantic relationships.
Oh, okay. You can't shoot anyone.
So this is something that we put on there for like a wedding.
Oh, okay.
Or
so there's other really cool stuff here. So this is a convertible landau?
It's called a landaulet.
Landaulet, okay.
And so what the distinction of this thing is, you'll see that right here,
yep.
Everything on that side is designated for the aristocracy, the upper class.
Yep.
Everything on this side is the servant class.
And I noticed you have your megaphone speaker to go back to the back.
That comes from here. So you can tell the chauffeur where you want to go.
That's right, okay.
And you can see he can talk to the chauffeur. The chauffeur cannot talk back.
That's right. Why do we want him to talk back? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your flowers here, your flower vases.
Flower vase.
And I noticed on the other side, we can go over there in a minute, but we've got a place to put your canes over on the other side.
Yeah,
you got your horn.
Let me show you that. Of course, we got acetylene headlights. And that comes from here.
Oh, umbrellas.
That's your acetylene generators. You put calcium carbide and water in there.
Wow.
This being a luxury car, it has 2 generators, one for each headlight.
Oh my goodness, really? One for each headlight?
Yeah, and this turns the water on, that turns the gas on.
Okay, very cool. And then you've got your umbrella canes.
Well, actually, this is for a walking stick for the...
Very nice. Very dapper.
And it's mother of pearl and brass. And the other one is a parasol.
Oh, parasol, okay.
Which is for the elegant ladies so they would not get a suntan.
And then you've got the convertible rear seat for the...
Yeah.
You mind opening the little door there?
Yeah, this is the option. You could have it top up, top down.
Yep. Look at it, original.
All this is original.
Wow.
This is whalebone.
Wow, whalebone. Okay.
All the glass is original. And you see for the opulent part of the car, it's bevel glass. For the servant class, it is not.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And another really unique feature of this car.
You got little kick-down seats, I see.
Yeah. A really unique feature of this car is that one of the earliest cars that had any form of an electric light.
Is that okay to let that go?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Electric lights were virtually unheard of in cars of this age.
Yep.
But they wanted that because that was such a status symbol, to have an electric light.
Okay, right.
So what they did is they built this thing. Underneath there is a glass jar battery.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And so the chauffeur would put sulfuric acid in there, generate electricity, so they could have a dome light. Now let me turn it on for you.
So wait, there's a dome light here?
Yeah, hold on.
All right, we're going to turn the dome light on here.
So this would come here.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That's a lot of work for a dome light. All right.
Yeah, but that's simply status symbol.
Yeah.
Another thing, you notice the door has door locks?
No, I didn't notice that. Oh, yeah.
It's one of the oldest cars you'll see that has door locks.
Wow.
And they're here, right here. And we found the key in here.
Oh my goodness, look at
That's
that.
the key.
You got the key.
And it fits in there.
That's fantastic. How does it run?
Perfect.
It's a straight four?
Four-cylinder, 4-speed transmission. It's got a drive shaft brake. That's it.
Thanks for bringing us such an amazing car.
My pleasure.
All right, now I'm in the American muscle car section. That's a true LS6 Chevelle, dark green. We'll get to that one in a minute here, but just a little flavor here. Roadrunner convertible. This is pretty rare. That's got the 383 4-speed with a bucket seats. Got the Roadrunner horn. And then this is just a really nice setting here. Great big oak trees. Got a nice CUDA down there. And then some more muscle cars up here. Nice GTO 67. It's actually having dinner with this owner last night. Dark blue, got the great white interior here. Got to have the Tiger there. 442 convertible. Now this is a true GTO Judge, and it really is a white one. So you don't usually see them in white. So this is very cool. All right, I've got Dion here with a very cool GTO, a color I don't think I've ever seen. So Dion, tell us a little bit about it.
This 70 GTO Judge, this is polar white, and it is the original color. It's one of I think 172 polar whites that were made in Oshawa, Canada in 1970. So this is a Canadian-made car.
Did you wear the hat and the shirt to match, or is that accidental?
That's just coincidental, yeah.
Well, it works out really nice.
Yeah, well, cool. So yeah, this is the original numbers matching Ram Air 3 400. You know, it's got the air induction Ram Air scoops. You pull the handle.
Tack on the hood?
Yeah, hood tack. Yeah, it's a beast. It's a beast. It's got about 58,000 original miles. I put about 8 of them on.
Now, you told me last night, tell us a little bit about where you bought this and what you did as soon as you bought it.
Well, I was looking for something that I could, this is my second GTO Judge, and I didn't care where I got it, but wherever I bought it from, I wanted to drive it home. So This was the third one that I had looked at, and the other two fell through because they started shopping for trucking companies to ship it, and I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. Part of the deal is I want to drive it from wherever.
No matter where it was in the country.
No matter where, I'm driving. Yeah,
okay.
I'm buying a car to drive it. So I found this one up about an hour north of Detroit, and I paid for it sight unseen. We flew up to Detroit, took an Uber about an hour north of Detroit, maybe an hour and a half, and it was in this big, beautiful collector's barn. Heated floor, walk-in cooler for the beer, and a bunch of beautiful classic muscle cars. And this one was up on the rack, and I got to look at the whole underside and said, I can't believe it, and come on, let's get this thing on the ground and drive it. And I think he thought I was just going to drive it around the barn, and I took off down the highway and came back a little later and said, I love it, but the defrost doesn't work, and I'm going to need the defrost. And he said, well, we've got extra motors, and we'll fix that for you real quick, take my truck and get something to eat. And we came back, and I said, all right, well, we're ready to leave. And he said, well, where's your tow truck? Where's your trailer? Somebody's going to pick you up. And I said, no, I told you, we're driving it back to Texas. So we did. We got in it right then.
For those that don't know, if Texas is here, where'd you say, Detroit? Up here. Texas is down here. And you did a side thing. Where'd you go in between?
Yeah, well,
where'd you go?
It could have been a straight shot down, but I was like, we're taking this thing to North Carolina and doing the Tail of the Dragon.
So That's nowhere close to being in between Detroit and Texas.
No, it was way out of the way, man. So we took it to North Carolina and did the Tail of the Dragon 5 times in it over 2 different days.
Wow.
And then we continued on back to Houston.
So how many problems did you have with it before you got it home? How many times did it break down on you?
It never once broke down.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, these, you know, I mean, this is just, it's a classic muscle car with a giant, you know, super reliable motor. There's not much that can go wrong with these things as long as you keep oil and water in them. Keep them cool and keep the oil in them.
Very impressive. Thanks so much for bringing it out to Keels and Wheels.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so I'm super excited about this car. All right, Alfio, tell us about your Trans Am.
Well, this particular car, I bought it brand new in actually October of 1975.
So you're original owner to this car and it's unrestored, is that correct?
That's correct. Original paint on, original interior on here.
Miles?
21,800 and I think 63 miles if I remember correctly.
All right, so tell me, what's the spec? What are we looking at here? What year? What's the model? Any fun facts about it?
1975. You have basically Firebird Trans Am, and believe it or not, this is just a base model. The only options that you could probably find on here is a tilt steering column.
I see it, yeah.
And when we were at the dealership, which was Frizzell Pontiac here in Houston, Texas, it was a radio delete.
Oh my goodness.
And we asked the same question, why is there not a radio in it? So they said, of course, no problem, the part of the sale, we'll put a radio in it. And they put an AM radio in the car.
What's the engine?
The engine's a 400 cubic inch engine. Back then, of course, was the very first year of catalytic converter.
Okay.
And which actually cut down your horsepower. So this year it was 185 horsepower for that year. The year prior to that was probably about 215.
And what year is this again?
1975.
1975.
Right.
Okay. Now, was the hood scoop factory an option, or did it come on all 400s?
No. On Trans Ams, they all came standard. You always had a 400 cubic inch engine, and later on that year, in 1975, they came out with an HO engine. It was a 455 HO.
Now I do see AC. Is that factory AC?
That's factory AC. Everything you see on here is all factory. We got all the original factory belts with all the GM stamps on there. Original hose clamps.
Power steering.
Power steering. Yeah.
Hose clamps.
Yeah.
So when this car was 8 years old and just another used car, why didn't you sell it?
Because what happened in 1975, I wanted to join a Trans Am club.
Okay.
And there were no Trans Am clubs around. Now I always hung around with a buddy, had a Corvette, and it was a Corvette club, and I'm out of Galveston, Texas.
Okay.
And he said, start your own club. So I put flyers out in every Trans Am I saw, and I started my own club, and it ended up being called the Gulf Coast Trans Am Club, which ended up being recognized by Pontiac Motor Division. They write me, and they were sending everybody in Texas to me because it was the only Trans Am club in Texas.
Wow, all right,
So,
well, you couldn't sell the car then, right?
Correctly. So started the very first Trans Am club in Texas, and ended up being the third Trans Am club in the United States.
Now, one thing I love about these original cars, like these little imperfections, those are factory
Yeah, factory imperfections. You're always going to have factory imperfections. A factory imperfection could be even a fit.
Yeah.
You take early model Corvettes that were all hand built, put together. Same thing even with some of these other Chrysler products.
Yeah.
So you're always going to find some kind of flaws on there. So
well, it's in fantastic
that's
shape.
original interior, original steering wheel.
It is beautiful.
Yeah,
Well, thanks so much for bringing it out.
Been my pleasure. Pleasure talking to you.
All right, so I've got James with this incredible Locomobile. So James, tell us a little bit about this car, and I love the fact that your shirt matches it perfectly.
Well, that's pure chance. This is a 1925 model 48 Locomobile, 525 cubic inch engine, and this model was the most expensive, most powerful car built in America for about a 10-year span, roughly 1916 to about 1925 or so. And they were known for their extreme quality, extremely high standard of materials. Car uses a lot of aluminum, brass, copper, manganese, bronze. And their slogan was the best built car in America. Now this car I knew since I was 16 years old.
Are you serious? How did you know about it back then?
Well, we went on an antique car tour in Austin in 1963, and this was about the biggest car I'd ever seen.
Yes.
And I admired it for the next 5 years, and then I went away to the military, and during that time the owner sold it. And I didn't know where it was for a long time. And then later on, as I got active in the old car hobby, I decided I wanted a Locomobile. And it took me 10 years to find this car, and it was in the museum owned by Clive Cussler, the famous author. And I wrote him a letter and asked him if he wanted to sell the car. He said no. So it took another 10 years to buy the car, and I couldn't buy it till after he died. Contacted his daughter, she was willing to sell the car. So right now I'm bringing the car sort of back from the dead, because 30 years and it's in his museum. It was started like 3 times, driven once or twice. So I'm going through it mechanically, cosmetically. I redid the upholstery and the top, some of the plating, and this summer I plan to get underneath the car and go through all the mechanicals, change the fluids, grease everything, look for binds in any of the working linkages. I'll adjust the brakes, possibly replace the brake shoes.
How many automobiles did they make in 25?
Well, they made a maximum of 4 a day. So by the end of the year, a couple of hundred maybe.
So how did you know this was the car that you eventually bought so many years later?
Well, I had pictures of the car from the 1960s, and some of the accessories on the car are identical to what was on the car back then. The spotlight, the mirror, the wind wings, and the step plates on the running boards. They're all kind of different, and I've never seen another Locomobile with this combination of accessories.
Now, obviously, it's very striking colors. Were those photographs black or white back then, or did you have some hint as far as the color?
Well, the car was canary yellow when I was young.
Oh, okay.
And if I get underneath the car and look for any chips, there's canary yellow underneath. Pretty good clue.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Okay. So again, 500 and what cubic inch engine?
525 cubic inch, and they ran 103 to 106 horsepower back then.
That was a ton of horsepower back then.
That's right, at a time when the Packard Twin 6 was 90 horsepower.
So is it a straight 8?
It is actually a straight 6.
Oh,
and the engine is a work of art.
But it's such a beautiful interior. The dash, the like brushed aluminum dash is amazing.
That was one of the attractions the car had to me when I was young, because I bought in recent years a 1919 Locomobile, and it was not nearly as flashy as this.
All right, I've got Craig here with a really cool, I believe, unrestored car. So Craig, tell us, what am I looking at?
It is completely unrestored and original. This is a 1953 Arnold MG coupe, designed by Bertone, built by Arnold, Stanley Wacky Arnold, and this particular car was Stanley's personal car. It is still titled in his name, and I happened through very, very good luck and weird circumstances to end up with it. It was sold in his estate auction by his older son, Stanley Jr., and I ended up with the car.
Now tell us, these are pretty rare, like less than 150 maybe? How many
No,
were made?
the grand total was 103.
103.
103. Okay. There's 57 coupes and 57 coupes and 38 convertibles.
Okay, and so I first saw this at the Cincinnati Concours. We were thinking about 3 years ago, and I remember I just thought it was such a cool car. I thought the patina was so cool. I'm thrilled to see it here at Keels and Wheels. So do you live locally?
No, I used to live right down the road. This car's been at Keels and Wheels a number of times since like 2013.
Okay.
But no, I'm up in Austin, Texas now, and but as I said,
now, so it's unrestored. Seats have been recovered?
No.
These
no.
are the original seats?
This car has had a tune-up with new old source parts.
Okay.
Brake job with new old source parts. It has braided stainless steel gas lines for obvious reasons.
Right.
and it's got a gel cell aircraft battery and a Lucas battery case. Other than that, it is completely original.
I love how you're keeping it this
Yep.
way.
The tires are actually radial tires in a bias ply casing that looks like period original.
Now, I love how you've got the original paint crazy, you're just keeping it as is.
Yeah, this is the before. I can't touch this because obviously paint flakes every time you touch it, but this is I try to keep the rest of it semi-polished. But
So tell me, did all these have a trunk-mounted gas?
yes, they did.
That's just so inconvenient.
Not really. It's the anti-theft deal too. You know,
Well,
they can't steal your gas if they can't find it.
That's true. Now, what's the story on the luggage?
Well, the luggage is something I found on eBay a number of years ago. It was as close as I could come to something that looked like it could be period correct. Nothing original about that. But it's also a good place to hide all the stuff you generally have piled behind a car at a car show.
Well, thanks for bringing out such an incredible, cool, and historic car.
You bet. And let me put a plug in for the Cincinnati Concours while I'm at it.
Okay.
Great show, wonderful venue. I highly recommend it to anybody. So.
Well, that's awesome because, you know, I volunteer with them. So, yes, please come to the Cincinnati Concours. Thanks again, Craig.
Will do. Thank you.